if you're like me, you there's certain situations you feel comfortable, like if you've been involved with something a long time. Like for me, martial arts, I feel comfortable in that environment. But also with those same people, I don't express fully who I feel like I am. So if you can relate to that, I believe this video is kind of gonna go one way, and that's how much you are you allowed to be in society, and especially if you're someone that may think about things a little differently or likes to understand and kind of experiment with all that life has to offer. If you're not necessarily satisfied with the standard way of living, and you like to experiment, and you like to take risk, and you like to delve into concepts that are maybe uncomfortable or not familiar to other people, say religion, or say physical endeavors or bungee jumping, a lot of times that adventurous spirit is probably a better way to put it. If you're an adventurous spirit, it's hard to know exactly how much you can be without people thinking one way or the other about you. And should you even be worried about that? So this is kind of what I've been I'm not saying dealing with currently, because I am getting a little older and can see things from a different perspective than I used to, and I think part of that's just from self-work a little bit, and at a certain point you gotta be who you are, and that be who you are-ness is leaching more and more into my whole life versus just with certain select people. By no means show up barefoot to your office job. I think that's the extreme of what I'm saying. More so, let me backtrack a bit. How much you are you allowed to be? So if you're an adventurous spirit, you probably are a little bit self-aware. Some of the things that you do or say or think, people don't feel comfortable with expressing that out loud. Even if they have the same feelings, you might be ostracized a little bit. So now you kind of have to play with your audience on this, to be totally honest. Unless you are in a position where a lot of people have families, a lot of people have jobs, a lot of people have social circles that you just don't. Here's an example. Like, say you're at church, say you go to church, and there's a group of older ladies or men or whatever, and their belief system doesn't allow the use of, say, psychedelics. But you probably wouldn't bring up that fantastic, crazy, liberating experience you had where you delved into the deep trenches of your soul on 5 grams of dried mushrooms, right? It's just not something you would bring up in that crowd. So there's limits, but the more you are able to, I know I say this a lot, but come from an authentic place of who you are while playing with the limits. If you have a spouse or a partner that you're with, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a really good friend, you can push the limits. And sometimes that's funny, and those are probably, hopefully, comfortable places where you can express yourself more fully. And also know that you're not alone. Everybody has some crazy, messed up thoughts that they would never repeat to their closest friends, right? Some people do, and people are like, oh, you're crazy. You're probably not as crazy as you are led to believe. So if that's comforting, great. Just just let you know, that is something that you can seek comfort in, that everybody has these kind of feelings and thoughts, and you are not alone. No matter what jacked up thought you have in the moment, and I'm talking messed up, it's all natural. It's stuff, you are not necessarily in control of your thoughts. You can direct your thoughts, but a lot of times they're just happening in the background with no conscious awareness, and that's scary. But sometimes you'll notice what you're thinking, and you're like, God dang, I thought that? You know, I'm terrible. No, you're normal, you're average. There's psychological terms for these messed up thoughts, and they're not coming to my head right now, but it's normal. There's people that tell the truth. Everybody has them. There's just people that tell the truth and people that would rather not show that side of themselves. If you're an adventurous spirit, like we're talking about, you probably are kind of like not knowing where that boundary is, because you might not fit in. People might not want to go bungee jumping or explore the depths of their mind through meditation or, you know, psychedelics or whatever. And that's totally okay. You got to know your audience. Unless you're at a point where you can abandon those, and you have your close group of friends and everybody else that understand you or like-minded, similar, like pushing the boundaries, aren't, you know, whatever boundaries there are. Everything's made up. Everything are constructs. So people that know that on a subconscious or conscious level, that everything's made up and there's no rules, those people, I will expect. There are rules, okay? Don't give me what I mean. I mean that on a deeper level. Everything's are constructs and concepts. Anyways, I'm not gonna pretend you guys are a bunch of adolescents that don't understand what I mean by that. So, just find comfort. You are, at least like-minded individuals are here on this channel, I imagine, because the algorithm works that way. It finds people that are similar. And if you are on your spiritual journey, or if you are just all around more open-minded, say towards Taoism or whatever, you might have found my channel that way. Or another avenue, you're probably open-minded. That being said, I love you guys, and I feel like there's more I want to say, but I kind of lost my track a little bit. Love you guys, and I'll see you next video.